Today I am sharing some of my favorite easy to put together DIYs that are only going to take you a few minutes, and you can also make these on a major budget. These wooden words that are for sale right now are a great quality. So they have these in 3 different colors. I love the white and the wood, but I thought this black would look really good on like a white board, so I could add in some black rub-on transfers. Now I don't know why they put out a million words of relax. I wish they would have did like home or family, so we could have played around with more of it. But relax is something that you could put in your family room, in your master bathroom, bedroom, anything like that. So this would look cute anywhere in your home, but I decided to add in the black rub-on transfers to the bottom. I tried to make them go in opposite directions and then add little flowers in the middle, glued that down, but this is a really cute piece that you can display. And like I mentioned, I think it would be perfect for a bathroom or sitting area, but I love the fun design. It kind of has a boho feel, but turned out really cute. Whenever they have like bigger signs like these houses, I grab them because they don't even need to be made over. I am pairing this with one of the larger $3 signs from the Dollar Tree Plus section, and I'm just flipping it over, and whenever you flip these signs over, it makes it look like it has an instant frame. So like I mentioned, this house is so gorgeous, has a little 3D metal piece on it, and just perfect as is. I just wanted it to make a little bit more of a statement, so make like a bigger statement piece than just hanging it on a thumbtack on the wall. So, like I mentioned, just flipping this sign over and then carefully not getting any paint on the frame, but painting the background white. I added some tower blocks so that this will really pop off of the back, or you can choose to just glue it directly down onto the back of the frame. But I really like how this turned out. I feel like it gives it a little bit of dimension and looks really, really cute. And then this just, I don't know, it just looks a lot bigger, and I am just so excited to find real wooden signs like this in the Dollar Tree Plus section. I thought these new little chalkboards were really, really pretty. I love that tiny little gingham print pattern, and it kind of just looks like fabric that's been kind of Mod Podged down. So I wanted to actually make this stand up. I am using just a wooden circle from Dollar Tree, as well as the handle of a toilet plunger. You could use anything that you would want. Walmart has tons of bigger dowel rods or Hobby Lobby that you could use instead. It's just one of the only things at Dollar Tree that I do grab, the toilet plunger handle, just because they don't have the bigger dowel rods. And then I screwed it into this wooden circle and then painting this black, and this is going to act as a stand for my chalkboard. So covered it completely with the black paint and then glued the chalkboard directly on the stand. And this looks so pretty. I added a few little greenery pieces at the top, but you could write anything that you want or put like some Christmas greenery at the top and really fix this up to match every season. Okay, next I picked up one of these closed containers or covers. This is like for protecting outdoor plants, but you can actually use this in a home decor project. So I thought it would be really fun to make like a indoor terrarium, or this is something that you could set out on the patio. I am using just a circle Dollar Tree sign, and then I'm using this as a stand. I had already made this. It's just a black bowl with a black like small little salad plate on top. I glued those together for a previous project, so this will work perfect for that. I'll get to reuse these. I painted the circle white, trying to kind of distress it a little bit, leaving some of the wood to show through. Glued this right on top of my stand, and then I'm going to just fill it up with anything that I want to really dress this up, and then I'll be able to put the cloche over the top. So for this, I kind of offset 2 little styrofoam discs from the Dollar Tree so that I could kind of put different levels or heights inside of this. So I knew I wanted to add a ton of moss to kind of make it look like a little fairy terrarium, but I'm not going to put like fairy trinkets in it, just mostly succulents. I kind of put this around the edges of this, just hot gluing it down in place, and then added any type of succulents. I love the Dollar Tree selection of succulents. They have tons of purples, but Walmart also sells quite a bit, but you're going to pay more than the $1.25 price point. I think as many textures and details that you can get in there as possible is better. I added lots of rocks and hanging little succulents. I glued the cloche right down on top. The hot glue does want to warp it just a tiny bit, so you might want to be super careful or use your hot glue gun on low temp, but I added this wood bead around the bottom and I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. So many different ways you could style this and even change out the colors, and I think this would be a really fun project to do, especially in the upcoming fall and winter DIY seasons. When shopping online, I am seeing a lot of higher end stores putting out a lot of textured vases, and a lot of them have like florals on it. So I knew I could try this with Dollar Tree items. I'm taking 2 random jars that I already had on hand, and I found some tiny little petite flowers that would work perfect for this. I cut the little plastic pieces off the back, and then I'm going to hot glue them all over the jar so I could paint it all together, and it's going to give it some gorgeous texture. So I'm just spacing these out evenly, and on the second jar I did go in and kind of put 2 flowers together here and there to just kind of mix it up. But these, I think it's really cool how the middle of the flower is really poking out. It's going to make it really show up. So like I mentioned before, this is just a great way to make your like neutral home decor not look so bland by adding in as much texture as you can. So these flowers are a little bit different, but I did apply a lot of hot glue and then press the petals down into it so it's really going to hold on there, and then took these outside. I sprayed them with some London Fog, which is more of like a brown color, as well as some gold. You can pick which one that you like the best, but put some fake greenery in there, and these look so gorgeous displayed out in whether you're doing boho or farmhouse, or you could paint this colorful for summer. These would look so gorgeous painted in bright fun summer colors, but I love how they turned out. For the next project, I'm actually grabbing one of these Juncture brand bags. These are like fun summer bags. They have tons of designs and colors that you can pick up, and I loved this one. I thought it would look perfect with kind of the decor style I'm going with, especially for summer, bringing in tons of just anything plants or faux plants. So I actually cut this out, glued it on top of a wooden Dollar Tree sign. You can see that it is a little bit short, so I am going to be adding in some florals in the bottom. I have seen a lot of people like DIY home decor with gift bags from the Dollar Tree, and maybe that's a cool idea, but a lot of times the gift bags are super shiny and just have like a cheaper feel to them. I love this bag in particular, or this brand Juncture, because what they are putting out is it's like a better quality than a gift bag, obviously, because it's not to be used for one time, but it has like a matte finish and actually texture on this that I did cut out. So I love that. I feel like it makes it look like a higher end look. But like I mentioned, it was a little bit short, so stuffing some of my moss that I had left over from the terrarium that I made earlier, stuffing that down in the bottom, gluing it down, adding some little flowers. I went with more of a neutral color, but you could add any pop of color down there, glued them down in place, and I just think this looks so cute. It's the perfect colors, and it's going to look so pretty displayed around some florals. Okay, for this DIY, we are putting several of these long 18-inch boards together to create a huge piece. This is going to be a large wall kind of organizer chalkboard, and I am obsessed with how this turned out. So to connect these, I'm using hot glue, but for long-term use, definitely invest in a wood glue. But for video purposes, I love to just use hot glue to get it done quickly so I don't have to wait on everything to dry. But I piece these all together. I'm going to put a little shelf at the bottom with 2 pieces of wood, and then I needed a chalkboard at the top. So the best way I could do this to get it custom fit to size is to cut down one of the cheaper like MDF signs, and I knew I could paint this and I'll be able to write on it. So the good thing about the MDF signs is that you can use like a razor blade or utility knife to cut this down to size, so it fits perfectly, and I am painting it with some of the Dollar Tree chalkboard black paint. Now you could paint this any color because it is going to have a lot of writing on it. It's going to have hooks for like keys or organization, like your sunglasses on there. I wanted it to be kind of plain, so I'm going with white. I am kind of not just dry brushing on it, but doing it lightly so that you can see some of the wood poking out. And then I created this little shelf. It's just 2 of the thin pieces of woods. These are the shorter pieces, and I glued them together, and that's going to create the little shelf at the bottom. So you can see this was an Easter sign that I did recycle, so this is a perfect way to get to use these. And I am gluing the ugly side down so nobody is ever going to know. And then the hooks, I did pick these up at Walmart. Dollar Tree has some items out that you can use for hooks. They have some bigger hooks, but I love these little gold ones, and they're so easy to screw in there. I didn't glue the shelf down until that I had the screws in there because I knew that they would go through the thin piece of wood and want to kind of stick through the back. So for this shelf, I did want a tighter hold just in case I put something on there. So I am adding in some wood glue to give it a really sturdy hold. So I knew if I wanted to actually use these, I was going to have to add something permanent. Obviously, because I have kids, they are always like pulling things off of the fridge and not making it very easy to leave anything as is. So going into Cricut Design Space, I typed up to do on one, and then I searched grocery, found this cute little pig in a shopping cart, and I am measuring the clips to see how big that it needs to be, and then kind of shrinking these down to size, cutting them out, and transferring them onto the clip. I am definitely a paper and pencil person, a list person. I have to have lists everywhere, and it's so motivating to me to get to go mark off everything that I'm doing or just have visual aids everywhere. So I am putting this to-do list so I can keep up with what I need to do from day to day, as well as the little shopping list that I can have running all the time and just keep adding to it. I love picking up a pack of the jumbo index cards from Dollar Tree, keeping these in a drawer by the fridge, and then you can just update these daily or weekly, however you need to do them. But these look so adorable, but also something super functional. So in this video, I've been doing a lot of decals, but you also can cut out and use the vinyl for stencils. So I picked up these little chunky like wooden pallet signs from Walmart. They're very inexpensive. They were supposed to be a sign, which they're very small to be a sign, but I wanted to use them as little risers, whether that's for like candles or pumpkins. I thought I would make a couple of different ones, and that way I would be able to use them in different places as well as for the different seasons. So you could make this as festive as you wanted. You could add some orange on there, but I wanted to keep them pretty neutral so that I could use them for the rest of the year. But for this, I just cut out the design I wanted, actually weeded out the image itself, so I'm left with this perfect little stencil. I applied it to the sides, pressed it down really well, and then I'm lightly painting on the inside image, removing it while it's still wet, and you're left with this gorgeous like ivy vine that you cut out. So I love this. Like I mentioned, I wanted this to be a riser, so I wanted to add some little legs to it. I'm using beads for the little feet and gluing that on all 4 sides. And I feel like this is so adorable. And like I mentioned, I did put a candle on one, but also using this for a pumpkin. Definitely excited for the fall season, but these will be perfect for just any type of decor or in any room. My dollar store had an entire wall full of like new signs that I haven't seen before. I was so excited, including these little laundry hooks. Now these are kind of small just to hang up as is, but if you take 3 of these, I put one, like the white different one in the center, but just pull out the hooks in the back, and then I attached all of these together, and it makes such a bigger impact on the wall. And I feel like this looks like a super nice piece, adding the 3 together, and this is actually going to act as like a functional piece. I actually hung this up with like nails, so it's going to be super sturdy versus just hanging it up with the little hooks or whatever it came with. But I did secure these in the back with some popsicle sticks to make sure that it's going to have a really nice hold, but you could hang like a lightweight towel, a little piece of decor, but I really love how this turned out. So I love all of the like plastic buffalo check pieces that Dollar Tree's been putting out, and the last time I was in there I found this huge charger that has the galvanized middle. So this didn't make it home, my kids stepped on it or something, and it has a crack at the bottom, so I knew I wanted to make this into something that I could use, maybe put a bow at the bottom that would cover up the damage, and you'll never know. So I found this little chalkboard heart, put that down in the middle, and then I'm making a huge bow to cover up the crack with just some burlap ribbon. This isn't really a fall DIY, but it definitely could transition into fall. You could add different color ribbons or greenery to it, but just kind of staying more neutral, but covering up the crack and then adding an initial in the middle. It was at this moment that I realized I have two bows stacked on top of each other, the little bow on the heart and the one at the bottom. Even for me, that's way too many. So I decided to remove it, and then I did have to peel off the W and add a new one so that it was more centered without the bow. I added in, or hot glued, some greenery to both sides underneath the bow, and then added in some twine ribbon. I did have to drill the holes at the top, but that was super easy. It went through really nicely. It didn't crack or anything. Added some beads to this, and then I'll be able to hang it up for display. So I cannot get enough organization in my craft room. I need so many places to hang tools. I have these two shelves that I had hung up, and they're kind of decorated, but they're not super functional. I noticed that there is some like empty space, so I am using the adhesive as well as some of these like longer, shorter pieces of pegboard, and these worked perfect. I stuck it in between the two shelves, and I was able to hang up so many tools in there, and I could definitely add in more at the bottom, but I think this looks so good. I didn't want it to look too busy, but it just worked out perfect. So this shelf is kind of like right to the side of my craft table, so it's like an easy access place. I have my like speaker on there as well as most of my paintbrushes, so I knew this would be super handy to hang up more of my tools that I'm constantly looking for. They're easy to grab. It doesn't look messy to me. I think it looks really cute. You could add more at the bottom, but for now I'm just going to leave it as is. But this is completely functional, and love how it looks. So I think it is so cute, like displaying your tools around the craft room, and I just think it's really fun and a really inexpensive way to fix it up. So next up are these hexagon shape signs, and I thought they were really cute as is, but in the store I held them together and they make like this really cute like honeycomb flower shape. So I really did like it. I thought it would be like a fun like tabletop piece that you could like decorate with like a group of three, kind of put some height in the back of any kind of like tier tray or something you want to decorate with. So I wanted to make these over. The first thing I did was take a little spatula or anything flat would work and just pry off that top little frame. And then the backing is paper, and something that's way easier than using sandpaper to sand all of this down is to take like a damp cloth or wet paper towel and let this soak for just a minute or two, and then you're able to easily wipe away the excess paper. So this works really well. You can even do this a couple of times to get the thicker paper in the middle, but I was able to get it all scraped off, and then you can sand away the residue of the glue or the excess paper. And then I picked out a really cute like design that I wanted to put on mine. I have this like black paper pad, so I picked up this floral design and then just cut it out to size, glued this down, and replaced the frame. You could get really creative with this. You could put like black and white photos in here, would be really cute. I just like the simplicity of the floral design, and then adding back in the black frame. I feel like it's like a gorgeous piece that has like texture and design to it, but it's not super colorful. This is something that will definitely transition into my fall decor. I can decorate around it with colorful pieces, but I love the boho style and bringing in those black tones and different designs, so I think it looks really cute. I did use wood glue to attach these together. They are like thick, heavier pieces, so I really wanted them to have a strong hold, so attach these together, and then it actually stood up by itself. Dollar Tree is blowing me away with all of these gorgeous rub-on decals. I am definitely here for it, and I'll take as many as I can get. So I love this Farm Fresh flowers, and recently I picked up some of these gorgeous sunflowers in more of like softer tones or fall colors. So I wanted to put them in a really cute crate with this little label on it. I painted it white, put this Farm Fresh flowers. It does have the lines, so I did have to push down inside of the little grooves to get those letters to stick, but this went on there really nicely. And then I added in some styrofoam, put my little flowers in it. And while I feel like these flowers are perfect for fall, I love the blues and neutral tones, you also could add in some leaves, and then whenever each season rolls around, you could definitely just pull these out, add to it, change the colors, but the black and white base is going to be perfect as a neutral that you can just fill in with each season's florals.